everyone, welcome to a brand new video. We've come to see three unique aspects alongside the former Disused Railway. It's the former Bala Ffestiniog Railway, opened back in 1882 and it lasted until 1961 before closure. Look at this beautiful scenery. Isn't that lovely? Now there's a bit of a mystery about the railway here. Where did it go once this lake was formed? Because this lake is man-made and there's a dam just over there. We've got Bala over there and Viaduct is over there. So we're going to have a look at the track bed, see where it went and see what happened to it when this lake was man-made and eventually flooded. But first of all, we're going to go about 7 miles east past the village of Bala and take you to see a beautiful little tunnel. Right, so first location today is a tunnel. It's 76 yards in length. It's very small, very short, single track gauge, and it's pronounced either Landfell or Landfell tunnel. Landfell station is about half a mile up in that direction, and Bala is about 3 miles over there. I'm going to spin you around and you can have a beautiful look at this. So it's a blue brick construction, look, it's got the coping stones to the top and it looks blue brick all the way out, and it looks like it changes halfway through as well, and it looks like the drainage channel is down to the left. So let's get ourselves inside. Ballast on the floor as well, look, plenty of ballast and a nice little echo too. Got cable carriers, look, as we go along on the right hand side. Rusted away, but still present. We've got the white circles around them. We're coming up to the first recess on the right hand side as well, look. That's alright, isn't it? So we've got ourselves another recess on the left, look, and we've got the drainage channel down there on the left hand side as well. Some beautiful colours. Now it looks like the construction is going to change, look. We're going to lose the brick built arch and it is going to turn into a rock formation, look. It's been carved out. That is beautiful, isn't it? We've still got the drainage to the left, look. This is almost like being inside a cave system right now. There's even what looks like a stone cut out recess just there, although I just think it's the rock alignment because we're going back into the brick again, look. You see it just there. That's astonishing. Stonework too, look, further down. So we're out of the stone section, look, that's just there, and we've got a red brick roof and a stonework side, but it's not for long. We're back to another rocky cut out section, look at that. Again, it's like being inside a cave. It looks like it's going to go on for a similar distance to, it's around about there, but you can see the archway again from where it's bricked. I can see bats going around as well. This is astounding, isn't it? Back to the brick. Again, look, leaving the rock behind. It's that peculiar layer of bricks. Just there, trying to get the beam off it. There we go, that's better. And then looking back, there's our view back to the central section of brickwork. So let's pan around, brighten it up again, and we'll get ourselves out of the other portal. So almost identical portal on the other side. Look, capping stones at the top, blue bricks surround. If we light it up, you can just see inside the blue brick tunnel before it goes into that rocky section again. That is a really cute little find. I'm really happy we came down and found this and walked along the track bed for some way to get to it. Absolutely amazing. Right, I'll take you some footage all the way back through, and then we're going to go to our second destination. We're going to go back to that lake where I saw you at the very beginning, and we're going to talk about the lost railway of the Ffestiniog and Bala Railway. Right, so now we're back at the man-made lake we was at the beginning of this video, and we're going to follow on the track bed. Look at this, it's beautiful. It's got into a beautiful little cutting, and we're walking towards the location of where the track bed effectively disappeared. Now, what happened to it? We don't know until we get there. A few of you probably already know. But look at this, this is stunning. It's used as farm access, and the kind gentleman at the farm, we went and spoke to him, and he says, yeah, get yourself down there. Give us a few things to look out for and what to expect and how to get there. So let's take a look, thanks to Rail Map Online, where exactly we are today. Now, apologies for any mispronunciations, but I'm going to do my best. So the tunnel we've just been to, that is 2 or 3 miles east of Bala, and if we zoom out the map, we can see all 3 locations where we're going to be today. We've got the tunnel on the right hand side, we've got the lake which swallowed the railway right in the centre, and we've got Cwm Prysor Viaduct over on the far left hand side. So now we've completed the tunnel, we're off to see the railway and the lake. Let's see what remains and why this happened. And as you can see, looking at these pictures here, this used to be the village of Cwm. I've just pronounced that completely wrong, I'm probably aware of that, but the correct spelling is at the bottom. It used to be a little village, absolutely submerged by the lake, and also allowing to build the reservoir and the dam that comes along with it. It also used to be a little station, it was a halt, and here's a nice little picture. The bridge in the picture does still exist, and you will see that a little later on in the video. So what happens here, it comes out of that cutting we've just walked through, and then something completely different happens. If we turn the camera around, you can see the track bed skirting off. You've got the lake on the left and a bit of an overflow. Look, you can imagine at some point in the wetter months, that does in fact flood. And in the 1960s, after the railway closed in '61, That was when plans came about to develop the reservoir and the dam about half a mile over there, and eventually it was flooded and part of the railway was indeed submerged. But we've come at a time of year where the water is not at its deepest. We've come in middle of October before the rains come over the winter and fill it up again, and this is what we get to see. Now, I'm unsure what this is. I think the track bed would have been a little bit higher. Maybe it was kind of like built onto a wall and an embankment, and it has since been demolished. So this is quite interesting. Look underneath that rubble of the former track bed. So it's obviously, you know, it's been eroded away and it has been demolished, so the track bed would have been just a little bit higher. You can see brickwork just to the right where it came out the other side, so that would have allowed water from one side to the other, I imagine. So I'm going to attempt to walk this track bed now. It's absolutely unstable, very rubbly and rocky, and the midges, it's unbelievable, they're everywhere. Certainly won't need any lunch later. So that's the view going forward. There's a little bit of a descent and a bit of careful footing, and hopefully it will get a little bit easier. There's an old track pin there, look, and if we look over here, there's two more. And just in the distance there, you see that little flow of water, and that would have at one time gone underneath that little stone bridge we came over just at the beginning of this part of the track bed. Let's keep going on the descent and see what's around this corner and where the track bed goes. Here's the remains of a fish plate, is it? It is, isn't it? So these little relics are amongst the rubble of the former track bed. There's a little bit more of something there, look. Just these little segments of history laying there. So leaving that bit of track bed behind, look, it has immediately disappeared. It's a great big embankment, look. Believe me, the water does come all the way up here. It might look like it's a long way down. And it does appear that we're just like walking along a really bad beach, that the track bed was under here. It was tarmacked at one point, which I believed it was used for the construction of the dam all those years ago. And there's a little bit of evidence just here to prove that. Little bit of tarmac laying underneath here, look, before it was buried. So this confirms that the track bed was once directly underneath our feet this morning. Back on the track bed again, and look at this. This cutting is absolutely amazing. All carved out by hand and basic tools back in the 1800s, and there it is on the other side. It's a little bit squidgy and boggy, but I think something is going to present itself to us once we get over here. There's a load of old ballast all scooped up, look. This pile mixed in amongst the slate. Look down there. There's our track bed. So there it goes, look, and it curves off and it descends into the abyss of the lake. Now you've got to think in a couple of months, all this where we stood now will be submerged. You won't see any of it. You won't see any of that behind. The reservoir will be full. It must only be about 50% capacity at the moment. But I've got a bit of drone footage which shoots off over there and gives you a bit of a perspective on where the track bed did go. And the dam is just over there, and sort of just to the left of the centre of the dam, the track bed did in fact go straight through there. Of course there'd be no dam wall, and it went off towards Bala. So we can continue on just a little bit more, and there's a couple of little underpasses coming up. I can see those as well, so I'd be interested to see what they look like. It looks like it's got proper traditional railway abutments on there. There we go, looking down into one. You can see the reinforcement there, look. Old rails they look like, don't they? I don't think they are though. And that's looking down under it. It's probably to let surface water through coming down off the hills. But on the other side you can see it's long gone, because the surface water can now just drain straight into the reservoir. I can actually get around to that side and show you what it looks like from this side. There we go, look. I'm going to briefly clamber down one of these, look, so you can see it for yourself. Got some blue brick at the top, traditional stonework and coping stones coming down the sides. Carefully does it, and there we go. At this point you can see I'm right on water's edge. It's very, very deep. Track bed just scooting off down there. And just there where I'm pointing, there's another one of these. A couple of old relics here as well. I'm assuming that's from the bridge, some of the support which would have been. There's an old coping stone over here, look. So that there was probably from off the top of one of those pillars there. And it's, as I say, it'd normally be underwater in winter months. And there's an old fence post as well, look. So that's potentially an old signal post, isn't it? Still got the bolts and brackets in there, look. There's a little bit that's fell off just there. And also through there, look, rusty old pins and brackets. That's a good little find, isn't it? There's a nice little bridge just here, look. It's got the stonework abutments either side. It's got a manufacturer's plate and date on there. It says Brimbo 1880. And it was a side-walled iron structure, look, and it's got 3 brick arched sections underneath. I wasn't sure what all these are for. And on the other side, look, it's exactly the same as you'd expect it to be. And it's in pretty good condition, isn't it? I like that, that's nice. have to say that bridge we just went under was in remarkable condition. 1880, just before the railway was effectively brought into use. It looked amazing. It looked like no more than 50, 60 years old, if that. So we're walking up the former track bed again now. It's quite an incline, and we're headed off towards our third and final destination of the day. But there's one little nugget I just want to show you up here. I think you might like it. Let's have a bit of a nosy. There's a little remains of a bridge there. Look, you can see the stone walling. It's obviously long gone, look. Nothing there. But on the other side, different kind of stone, but it's still ever present. So it would have been an old farm access, most likely. Now this looks like something that used to have something to do with the railway, doesn't it? So it's two old rails, isn't it? And there's some sort of foundations just here. What we really come to see is this. And a quaint little, it's listed as a viaduct. There it is down there, look, isn't that cute? Is it two arches? That's really pleasant, isn't it? Can't actually get onto it, unfortunately, but at least we get to come and see it. And that's what it looks like on top, with the route going off towards our third destination. There's also some old railway fence posts just there, and there's a stream careering down the rocks into the lake, which of course, when the railway was opened, was not a lake at all. It was just a river going straight through. So we're going to head off to our next destination now. It's a beautiful 9-arch brick viaduct, and it was built on a curve. I'll see you there. So now we've come to find a viaduct, and we've headed off towards Trallsvineth, if that's how you pronounce it. And I believe this viaduct is pronounced Cwm Prysor. Probably absolutely wrong. I'll put the spelling down below. So Bala is over in that direction, and you can see over here, there's your former track bed, look. So Bala in that direction, and Ffestiniog in that direction. Looks like the remains of an old bridge just here too, look. Whoever it was, it must have gone up there. There's the abutment, foundation, and there's the other bit there. There's even a little bit of brick. Just there, look. So this viaduct obviously was opened at the same time as the line, 1861 in November. And it closed in 1962. I can see it in the distance. I'm going to turn you around and hopefully you'll be able to see it too. But just look at these gorgeous views before we do. There's the road down there taking us off towards Trallsvineth. And the viaduct sits about there. So a few miles west of the lake, and we're heading towards Trallsvineth, but before that we've got Cwm Prysor Viaduct. Cwm Prysor Viaduct is an absolutely beautiful structure set in the middle of nowhere, as you can see on the map. Let's go and take a look at it. So here she is, and she's got 9 36-foot wide arches, and they're brick built on stone piers with a total length of 490 feet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get down to the bottom or not, because you can see it looks really, really steep. And also something of note is this sign here kind of give it a slightly different name. Is it Cwm Prysor? I've been calling it Cwm Prysor. That's what it said on the information that I googled. Whatever it is, anyway, we're here now, and I'm going to get myself along the top of it and over to the other side. The views up here are just extraordinary. It's looking a bit stormy over on the mountain tops over there. But it's absolutely stunning. I'm roughly about over the third arch of the 9 now. There's the view looking back to Bala. And here's the view looking in the opposite direction where we're walking now. And I've come down slightly now and I'm stood directly over the central arch, the 5th arch of the 9th. I'm stood slap bang in the middle. I can't really show you it. You can just see it, look, just there. And the view in the opposite direction from the same side. And that's the view in the opposite direction. It's absolutely stunning, isn't it? I'm going to keep walking, go around the other side. You can see there's quite a tight curve on top of this viaduct as well. The entire viaduct is in fact a curve, as you can see looking back from where we've just walked from. I'm over halfway now, and I'm probably going over around about the 6th arch, moving on to the 7th. Right, so this is the other end. It's absolutely stunning here. The interesting part of the track bed though is that it drops down, look, some of it is missing. I'm going to have a quick trot down here and show you. I'm unsure why it comes down this far, whether the earth's been moved or it's just sunk, but the track bed continues on down here, and I'm not going to go through this swampiness. I'm going to see if I can get around the other side just so I can show you. Right, I've made it to the other side, so if I spin you around, you can just make out the viaduct just there, look. And I'm back on the track bed level, so I don't know where that bit's gone. And I'm going to finish off this little bit by just showing you the former route heading off towards Ffestiniog. Right, so I do hope you enjoyed this video looking at the former Bala and Ffestiniog Railway. It's absolutely beautiful what we've seen today, isn't it? I'm going to take you back across this video on a non-stop run to the other side on the way out, but for now, like, subscribe, please comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another one very soon. Goodbye from Wales.